Hey guys, welcome back to the 516RC YouTube channel, and today I'm going to be showing you guys my Team Associated B6 kit. Now, I've had this buggy for a couple of months now, and I've driven it through multiple race days, a lot of packs, and quite a few set of tires actually. And I wanted to give you guys a thorough in-depth look and review of this buggy, because I know a lot of people are in the market for a 110 two-wheel drive racing buggy as the class is rapidly expanding. And I think that this buggy is one of the best performers in the class, not just based on its performance on track, but its value and what you get in the box for the price. I think that this is one of the, if not the best 110 scale two-wheel drive racing buggy kit on the market right now, and I'll show you why. So with that in mind, let's get started. So what are some of the features that you get, the upgrades that you get from the B6 out of the box? Well, although there might not be as many, higher quality parts when, I'm talking about aluminum and carbon fiber, you still get a decent amount of these. For example, the shock towers, front and rear, both carbon fiber out of the box. You have these beautiful 12mm big bore shocks with all aluminum bodies, threaded collars, and nitride coated shafts, which really provide a high level of adjustability to the car, that you can set the car to your desired driving setting and really push this car to the limits. You've got, a rear aluminum camber link mount. You've got aluminum axles all the way around. You've got carbon fiber steering arms and all of that little goodies that add up to make, a unique package out of the box that really provides some elements of bling as well as tunability to the B6. Now let's just briefly touch upon the upgrades that I have in this car, because I do have a few. As you can see, I'm running a JConcepts front wing up front. In the back, I am running a TLR race wing just because it's more durable, offers the same performance as the stock Team Associated wing. And in the transmission department, I have an Exotek slipper eliminator, just because I raced 17.5 with this car, and I think it allows you to get a lot more punch out of the corners and a lot more acceleration for making those big jumps. Now that we got the upgrades out of the way, let's take the shell off this buggy and see what's inside for the electronics. Now with the shell off my B6, you can really see the electronics that are under here. For a servo, I went with a Savox SC1257 TG all metal gear servo. This servo is really good for the price I paid for it, around $60. It's got super fast response time, it's durable with the all metal gears, and I think you're getting one of the best servos on the market when you buy this unit. For a receiver, I just have a simple Spectrum 4-channel radio. For speed controller, I have a Turnigy Trackstar Turbo 80-amp ESC, censored only, and it's just what I had lying around. I didn't want to go and buy another one, but I think for the price I paid, $40 I think, for this unit, this has served me for over a year and a half now with no issues. It deals with the power from my high discharge batteries without really breaking a sweat. This ESC never really gets that hot, so I think for the price you pay, it's a really good buy. For a battery, I have a Speed Zone 2S LiPo Shorty Pack, 4300 milliamps, 120C discharge rate. Really, really good battery. I think I paid $65 for this battery. And for the price you pay, I think it's got really, really good punch. It holds charge really well, and it allows me to get really, really good acceleration out of the corners on some of these tight turns that my track has. For a motor, I have a Turnigy 17.5 censored brushless motor. It's a D3.5, which means it's really suitable for all applications like a short course truck or a buggy you like. But I think this motor is really smooth. It provides good control. And even though this motor's, around 2 years old, I think it still does a great job of putting the power to the ground. Now with the cover back on my B6, let's talk performance. Now, as far as general handling, this car handles great when set up correctly. I think that the box stock setup is really, really close to what the car actually should be. I mean, I race on carpets, so I have really, really high traction on my track. And I found that increasing the camber a little bit from, I think it comes -1, I do -1.5 all around, helps to combat the traction roll problem that obviously occurs when you have a lot of traction on a grippy surface and your car is really light. For jumping and landing, this car flies straight through the air, just like really any other 110 scale two-wheel drive buggy. It's really controllable in the air. If you put the brakes on when the nose is a little too high, it will level out and the nose will come back down. You can make the jump cleanly. For landing this car, these shocks do a great job of damping. They absorb the bumps really well, and they allow the car to land flat after taking even a large jump off of, the double at the racetrack. And this car will come down on all fours. Even if it comes down a little bit cockeyed, the suspension will do a good job of distributing the load so that all four wheels get back on the ground as quickly as possible so you can regain traction. I think that's one of the strong suits of this car in the landing department. I think it lands really well, and I've driven a majority of the 110 scale kits. I've driven the Yokomo, I've driven the Losi, I've driven the X-Ray, and I think that this car is one of the, if not the best, jumper and lander in the market. As far as acceleration and braking, I think that this car does a good job. I mean, it all really depends on what motor and battery you run on the car, but I think for a 17.5 setup, this car is geared nicely. I mean, it comes with a 72-tooth pinion, which is great for stock racing, and I think that the transmission does an effective job of putting down power to the ground. This car has a really smooth transmission, actually. It rides all on ball bearings, so that's a nice feature. For braking, the car stops really well. It's composed under braking. It doesn't like to fishtail out to the side or get a little bit unsettled when hitting the brakes really hard after a long straightaway. And I think that there are some cars that brake a little bit better. They're more direct. You can put more input into the steering and turn a little bit harder into the corner while braking. But I think that the sacrifices you make in this area, which are very minor, are made up in other areas, which kind of levels everything out. Now let's move on to durability. How durable is the B6? Now, I've had this car for around 2 months now, and I've driven it through multiple race days. I've crashed it multiple times, and I really haven't broken anything on this car. In fact, I haven't broken anything on this car, and I'm running pretty much all stock parts with the exception of the few upgrades I touched upon before, and I think that's due to the quality of the parts you get out of the box. Even though most of them are plastic, I think that they're well built, and it allows for a decent amount of flex so that the car can take these large hits without really breaking. Also, it comes with a few aluminum parts and a few carbon fiber parts, which are actually nice, like the carbon fiber shock towers and the aluminum rear camber link mount, which also helps with the durability, prevents stuff from stripping out or cracking under really bad crashes, which is nice. I think that the durability of this car is pretty good. I mean, there's more cars that are obviously more durable than this one, but for a racing buggy, I think it's pretty top-notch. And also there's a large selection of aftermarket parts for this car. If you break something, you can easily just pretty much get an aluminum part or a carbon fiber part for any little aspect of this car, whether it be arms, shock towers, camber link mounts. It really doesn't matter. You can really find an aftermarket part for anything on this car. So I think durability is pretty good on the B6. Lastly, let's just finish up by talking about how the B6 compares to its competition. I know that there are many 110 scale two-wheel drive buggy kits on the market. You got kits from X-Ray, Losi, Yokomo, all these other top-notch companies that provide excellent kits. But I think that the price you pay and the parts you get in the box, as well as the aftermarket support and the tunability, that the competitiveness even that this platform provides for the price you pay, is I think what ultimately puts this car above the rest. There might not be an abundance of carbon fiber or aluminum parts on this car from the factory. I mean, you've got carbon fiber shock towers and aluminum rear bulkhead mounts and all this other good stuff, but I think that although the parts don't come in the box, there are a lot of upgrade options available for this car. You can easily get these parts in aluminum or carbon fiber, pretty much anything else you want. But the cost savings that you gain basically from buying this kit as opposed to others, and it can really keep up with the performance that this kit provides for the cost that you pay. It can keep up with any other kit, even beat any other kit on the market, despite costing $100 less, $50 less, $75 less. And although that might not sound like much, it can really help when, you know, younger kids or people who just don't have a lot of money are coming into the buggy game and are trying to get one of the best platforms for the money. And I think that the B6 really excels in this area. It might not excel in any specific category as opposed to any other kit on the market, but I think that the cost savings you save by as opposed to buying this kit as opposed to others is what really puts this B6 over the top when compared to its competitors. So that concludes my in-depth review of the Team Associated B6. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And if you have a question for me about the review or about the car, drop it in the comment section below and I will be sure to get back to you guys. Anyway, thanks for watching, stay well, and RC for life. Peace out.